locking in on a mission. I tell them my vision. You young, you should get like me. I got your shorty, she with me. I gave her a jersey. I told her to join my team. It's better.
Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down the kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, for these Kansas City Chiefs, they, of course, were Super Bowl champions 3 years ago. The win over the Niners in Miami. They fell to the Bucs in Tampa a couple years back. They had the blown lead in the AFC title game against Cincinnati last year. And now they're back, making their third trip to the big game in 4 years.
And their recent history only increases the urgency to try and win another Super Bowl title with this group.
Meanwhile, it took until Super Bowl 52 for the Eagles to lift the Lombardi Trophy for the first time. And not too many players are left from that squad 5 years ago. But this new group is looking to write a new chapter of Eagles lore.
Yeah, we certainly all remember that performance in the win over New England. Nick Foles throwing for 373 yards, catching the Philly special that will go down as one of the most iconic play calls in Super Bowl history. Now they're back and looking to make it 2 titles in 6 years.
Stage is finally set, and here we go. Super Bowl 57 is underway. Taken at the goal line. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
You can't help but continue to marvel at how well this man's career has gone so far. Now in his 5th season as KC starter, he's never missed a conference title game, and he's taking the field in his 3rd Super Bowl. Simply dominant, it's easy to envision him being one of the top quarterbacks for many years to come.
Mahomes not wasting time. He'll throw. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up 2nd down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. To the 43, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Not the desired outcome, but probably won't be the last time we see him take a shot downfield.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Phillies offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The 2nd-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
And you all heard about it in the offseason. There were many questions asking if Philadelphia might consider bringing in another quarterback to replace Jalen Hurts. He answered emphatically, "This is my team," and he led them to a Super Bowl appearance. A well-deserved moment for this quarterback who just kept his head down, kept working, and eliminated all the noise.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at the 20. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Big stop from a guy who can bring a big hit, Nick Bolton.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field. I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Hurts to throw. And this will be incomplete.
I don't see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Hurts. Flush, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Here's Brett Kern now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Throwing is Hurts. Escaping the pressure right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Well, we've seen quarterbacks get away with throwing the ball on the run, no doubt. But this, Charles, I think you'd agree, not the best of throws.
And listen, you're not always going to have a clean pocket to step up with the proper mechanics and deliver the football. I mean, that's a given. But you also have to understand your limits and know what you can get away with and what you can't when you're trying to make a throw like that.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's Jerick McKinnon, his first carry of the ball game. And he's going to take this close to the 1st down marker as he stopped at the Eagles' 36. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On play action, it's Mahomes. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
2nd down, McKinnon. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They run once more with McKinnon. Oh, what a move. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Four yards remain on 2nd down. Ball on the 10. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. This will be caught at about the 5. And the Chiefs are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. A chance for the first score of this Super Bowl. Here's 1st and goal. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Nicole Hardman, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. So the touchdown there, and that play, the tap pass, so simple, Charles, on the face of it, but what makes it so difficult for defenses to stop?
I think it's the precision and the quickness in which the play occurs, because the snap gets to the quarterback. He's essentially playing volleyball with it, just shoveling it forward. And when that receiver's at a full head of steam, if you don't take the edge away, he's got a chance to get to the corner and get upfield. But if you take the edge away, that's your chance to disrupt that play.
And no disruption there, that's for sure, as it winds up 6 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. They trailed early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. To throw on 2nd and 10. Hurts. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And once again, this is Sanders. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. At that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust, because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that can seize firm control of this game, something they haven't done with the ball so far.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that would overturn. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Colin Saunders able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. He was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here. 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. Toward the sideline, it's complete. An athletic grab, but still well short of the first. Calling a gain of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. A really nice catch, but bottom line, that should have gone for more yardage.
Give him a pass in the flat that allows him to get upfield. There's plenty of distance between him and all the defenders. Actually cost himself some yardage there. Yeah, they got the completion, but it could have been so much more.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. And quickly to Kelsey. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Mahomes finding his burner Hardman for the KC first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. That's sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Tommy Townsend now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And a first and goal coming up here inside the 10-yard line. So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big, that's what coaches harp on all the time. How do we create big plays that'll change the game? And that may have been one that just did.
So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's first and goal. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Marquez Valdez-Scantling bringing in that one for Patrick Mahomes. And the Chiefs will add to their first quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. And partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Butker on for the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing again on second down. Hurts. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. Flush to his right. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Another run here with Sanders. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. One quarter done and 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57. 14-0 is our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. And we are back. Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready for the start of the 2nd quarter. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now for getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 29-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll get 5 out of the scramble in 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Well, certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the 2nd half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. An option handoff given to Sanders. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Chris Jones on the stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. He'll look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now it's 3rd and 4.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run the ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And the Eagles are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a first and goal. It'll be Hurts on the option. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jalen Hurts, a 3-yard run as he kept it himself. And the Eagles are on the board here in this Super Bowl.
Partner, wasn't that long ago that when I talk with these NFL coaches about different innovations in the college game, you can see their eyes roll and they just shut down right away. Don't bring me that Joe College stuff. Well, guess what? The college game has definitely infiltrated its way into the NFL.
Yeah, and these guys, when you're seeing the option defensively, you got to stick to your assignments. I know that's cliche. They didn't do it there.
And option football means exactly what you just talked about. Assignment football for defenders. And that drives them crazy because you have to think your way through a play as opposed to just reacting and making the play.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Chiefs offense set to go. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
What's the deal, dog? No score zone right here. No score zone. Get this up, defense.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now here's Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
That coach is always hard on the quarterback, reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Mahomes now on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Hassan Reddick able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though. And they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
They run a draw here on second down, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
The Chiefs on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Mahomes now to throw. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
This drive's going to end. How about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Working from the gun, Mahomes. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Here's a give up the middle. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Mahomes going to throw. Throw right side going to be caught by Hardman. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover down.
And McKinnon is in for a Chiefs touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now 21-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. So remember, Charles, last time they were out here, they scored, but they just saw the opposition score, and they're trailing right now, so they're trying to keep pace here. They need a touchdown drive.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you're loving this, but if you're a fan of defense, this is tough to watch, and it's also tough to keep that up when you just watch your opponent march down the field on a scoring drive that lasts into double-digit snaps. You need a score here, not just to follow the momentum from your last drive, but put the onus back on your opponent. And that's what they're doing right now, swapping that onus back and forth.
And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They run the option on second down. Hurts fumbles it, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. Butker now to add the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. This offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start with a handoff to Sanders. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
It's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Hurts to throw. And Sanders has got it complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. Will go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 40 now on second down. Hurts. And that one into the hands of Brown downfield. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 40 yards. And the Eagles are able to cut into that deficit. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open. He has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Elliott on for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And the Chiefs offense ready to go again. But right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to seeing all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time to have a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Back to the air on second down. It's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. The Chiefs on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he will have a first down as they get into the ground at the 37. 5 yards on the play there. It's a drive will continue.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent gain.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. What a play there by Fletcher Cox to get in and knock him down behind the line. We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mahomes. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into it because they were there to help break that pass up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Mahomes. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Jalen Hurts bringing the Eagles out for their next drive. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. George Karlaftis, his 2nd sack of the night.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him.
That's swung out wide to Sanders.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Hurts. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. there's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. He finds McKinnon, complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing now is Mahomes. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well. The offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. A pass complete downfield. It's Valdez-Scantling. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 39 yards there. A big one.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. To throw, it's Mahomes. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. But it looks like the Chiefs are going to get it back. He'll lose a couple on what should be the final play of the first half. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for Kansas City. And it's been the passing game that's gotten them to where they are, 2 quarters away from a possible Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they weren't quite as successful throwing the ball as their counterparts were, but they still were able to move the ball reasonably well in that first half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in the Super Bowl. Taken in at the 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin this third quarter. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They've played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
Second half will start with a run by Sanders. Oh, he shifts past him. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And the officials here Going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll go again with Sanders. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
And the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And he'll take this close to a 1st down at the Chiefs' 32. 67 yards on the ground for him so far.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he's able to get the 1st here as he's taken down at the 25. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. They'll run with Sanders up the middle, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds, right around the 7. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Throwing is Hurts. This is caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Elliott now to have the extra point. He's got it, and they're back within a touchdown at 28-21. A 10-play drive that time, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down now, run with McKinnon. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mahomes. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now it's 3rd and 3.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not 1 bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
Here's the Chiefs punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Yeah, he was looking for the check up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Now back to work for Miles Sanders and the Philly offense. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground, because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they'll bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has.
Personally, I think they've got to go somewhere else with the football. They've got to bracket it out there in double coverage. Makes it hard to fit it in time after time.
It would have had to have been an absolutely perfect pass and not good enough. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the gun, it's Hurts. And this one complete to Smith. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Someone's been having a good game so far. And you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force an incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw here. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. KC's offense ready to take over. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw taken in by Valdez-Scantling. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Mahomes to MVS there for the Kansas City first.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Straight ahead they go with McKinnon. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now here's Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Mahomes now to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they're in a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Mahomes going to throw. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 28. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field. And a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Mahomes to throw once more. Screen play, McKinnon. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
You know the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. And the Eagles with a dime look. 6 DBs on 3rd down. And again, it's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
3rd quarter action in Super Bowl 57. Here's a 2nd and 10. They go draw play to McKinnon. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they're going to drop it well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points response there to that opening touchdown this 3rd quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the 2nd half and take over.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. He's got Brown on the out route complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Just 1 more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Folks, welcome back to the biggest stage in sports, the Super Bowl, and now we get down to the good stuff, the 4th and final quarter. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 41. Another run with Sanders. 103 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this Super Bowl.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Hurts to throw. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Hurts. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sanders. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They're going to look to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Frank Clark finding his way home to get the sack.
So we'll recount real quick. He had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
They'll look to throw. 9 to 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone
and the chance to get right back into this football game. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Touchdown, Eagles! Jalen Hurts on target to Dallas Goddard. And the Eagles have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that big-time drive right there? If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Elliott good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So that went a long 11-play drive. And the drive was all finished off on the touchdown catch by Dallas Goddard. after the touchdown. Here's Elliott on to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And the tension ratcheting up all around. A one-score game, fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. This is what you folks came for. Every play with the potential to win or lose a title as they look to drain some time off this clock. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. From the gun, they will run with McKinnon. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 47 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
Now Mahomes. A dump down to McKinnon, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. And this could become a career-defining drive for some. Down 3, 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. This is where the legends are made in the National Football League as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Colin Saunders able to drop in that time for his second sack of the evening.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Oh, good move. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Although a jet sweep to start the drive.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Here's Mahomes to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion for him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there, that brings up 4th. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And he didn't quite have the bag spin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And we're at the time of this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the 4th quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Sets up to throw it. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down. Up the middle they go with Sanders. 111 yards on the ground for him now as he's gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down.
That's the feeling any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually count for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a carry for Sanders. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
They run with Sanders off the option. And looking for a lane, but none to be found for Sanders as they stop him short of the line to gain. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. Out route, and it's complete to Brown. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. And the Chiefs are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. So a nice play defensively by the rookie, coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
The Chiefs ready to rock again on offense. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Second down, McKinnon. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The battle in the trenches, never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And that's going to be a Chiefs 1st down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
On 2nd and 7, Mahomes. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Hurts and the Eagles now down 31-28. A little under a minute 50 remaining. They need at least a field goal to send this Super Bowl to overtime as they come up on 1st down. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this is incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle. Kind of scan the crowd. See if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. The Sanders has got it complete. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. They'll look to throw. And once again, this is Sanders. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. It's caught by Sanders. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Burt's trying to hurry up the offense. He'll look to throw. Into the hands of Sanders.
Personal foul. Statement. Defense.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
Let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
He's back to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Sanders. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling. Looking to throw again on second down. Hurts. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So a big kick coming now for Jake Elliott. This to potentially send us to overtime. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to tie things up in the final minute. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
We so often think of these kickers as automatic at any distance, and it's just not the case because when you start talking about 50-plus yards, that's still a tough one to connect on. This one ends up no good, and that should put to rest any chance of this game getting to overtime.
Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. And the Kansas City Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. The accomplishment, forever.